So, I've never told anyone this because, honestly, I thought I was losing my mind. But after what happened last night, I can't stay in this apartment anymore. I moved into this cheap studio apartment in Chicago about 3 weeks ago. The place is old, but it's got character, you know? The only weird thing was this tiny utility closet in the hallway. The landlord told me it was locked because of old piping and not to mess with it. Fine by me. I'm not exactly a handyman anyway. But around night 4, I started hearing this sound. It wasn't a creak, and it wasn't rats. It was rhythmic, like a heavy, slow drag of air. In, out. It sounded exactly like someone breathing through a congested throat. I tried to tell myself it was just the ancient steam pipes. It's just an old building, I kept repeating. Last night, it was freezing, and the breathing got louder. It was so loud, I could hear it over my TV. I finally snapped. I grabbed an old flathead screwdriver, went into the hallway, and started prying at the rusty padlock. After a couple of minutes of sweating and swearing, it clicked. I took a deep breath, pulled the door open, and shone my phone flashlight inside. There were no pipes. It was just a completely empty, bricked-up space. Just solid, dusty, red bricks from floor to ceiling. I felt like an idiot. I laughed out loud, feeling this massive wave of relief. I shut the door, locked it back up, and went to bed. I was just drifting off when my phone vibrated on my nightstand. It was a text from an unknown number. I opened it. It was a photo of me, taken from inside my apartment, sleeping in my bed. The caption read, "Thank you for unlocking the door. It was getting so cramped in there." And then, right outside my bedroom door, I heard the heavy, wet breathing. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my teeth. The wet breathing outside my bedroom door suddenly stopped, replaced by a slow, agonizing scratch against the wood. I stared in absolute terror as the brass doorknob began to turn. Inch by inch, the door creaked open, revealing nothing but the pitch-black darkness of my hallway. Then, a pale, unnaturally long hand reached around the doorframe. I didn't think. I scrambled backward, threw open my window, and tumbled out onto the freezing metal of the fire escape. Shivering in the Chicago wind, I forced myself to look back through the glass. Sitting on the edge of my empty bed was a tall, distorted shadow. In its spindly fingers, my phone screen lit up, illuminating a face with no eyes only, a wide, silent grin.